As we come together today, may we bring all parts of ourselves. So start calling your mind, your body, and your essence to the circle. Leave no one behind. Leave no one behind. For we are one in the circle. We are one in the circle. As we start this class, let's bring all things, all parts of yourself, your week, your day, your past, your present, and your future. Can you be here now? Knowing that each moment is woven from the one before and the one next. Can you be here now? Can you come with open hearts, open minds, open bodies, open essences, open hands to receive today, O bountiful one of beauty, O luminous night, O tree that grows despite the wind and air. Can you come to the circle? Can you bring that little one, that 2-year-old, that 4, that 7, that inner child that wants to come out and heal today? Can you bring out the elders, the ones who sing the songs today, the ones who brought you to the circle of life to discover your heart place? Come to the circle. All are welcome here. All your dreams, all your failures, all your tears, all your songs, come to the circle. Leave nothing behind. Come with your gratitude. Come with your dreams. Come with your awe. And come with you. As we call upon the ancestors, your ancestors, to come. As we call upon the north and the south and the east and the west, and all the guardians and whatever ancestry you come for. As we call upon the keepers of the upper world, the middle world, and the lower world. As we call upon the elementals and the elemental beings of earth, water, fire, and air. We call upon your mind and your body and your essence. We call upon all parts of yourself. Can you come to the circle? Can you come to the circle? As we call upon the class jaguar and the Skatlipoka in all directions, Quetzalcoatl. As we call upon Eleohua, Shwechuelo, Ashnapolechova, Shalapua, Eleohua, ancient names, ancient beings of spirit and light, to sit with us right now, to be with us right now. Leave nothing behind, no part of you behind. Come to the circle, which is your life. Now, for all of you who are triangles out there, I want you to envision another triangle and a diamond, that reflection on yourself. And now spin that diamond, see how that diamond is a circle. So no matter what shape or form you identify more with, the circle is always here for all parts of ourselves to show up. I want you to take 3 deep breaths right now and consciously walk your mind into the circle. Walk with it. Maybe it needs your hand. Maybe it needs the hand of an elder. Just because we called it doesn't mean that it's here and comfortable. What does it need to be comfortable right now? What are the stories it has? We ask the mind to be open and reveal to us today the ways that we have put people and things and stories on pedestals, how we have put ourselves way, way down below, unreachable of love, unreachable of success, of abundance, of all the things that we crave. How far have you actually placed them away from you? And what is keeping you from them? Your judgments? What part of your identity? What words do you speak to yourself? We call upon the energy today of obsidian. Today is the day of obsidian. Tijak, Getsnub, the obsidian mirror and the obsidian knife, to reflect back to us right now our journey of 4 weeks in the circle with cacao. And that first time you brought your mind into the circle with cacao. And see how far you've come with your altars and your prayer bundles and your waiting, your pregnant awaiting of cacao, that energy of something almost there, and many of you had to wait longer. How does your mind feel about that? I want you to bring in your body now. this human body in whatever form it is today. Ah, as I crack my back, any aches or pains, ah, any way that it showed up today, can you bring it? Can you bring in the stories that you have of your body aging to this circle? And do they rest in your body or do they rest in your mind? Can you bring in the stories of when your body was young and beautiful? Sharp angles. Ah, watch me. Look at me go. Yeah. Mm. When it was young and breakable, so breakable and unbreakable at the same time. And the abuse that it stored in its bones, the abandonment, the rage of people who were supposed to take care of you and love you unconditionally. Yet couldn't because they didn't love themselves. They didn't bring themselves to the circle. Can we bring those stories, those parts to the circle today to heal and let go? To write the stories of our life as we remember to forget. And remember the time when our bodies were made out of the mountains, our lungs created by the valleys and rivers, our central nervous system created like mycelia, our heart being the tree, the roots of our creation, created first before the brain, and then the brain, and then that stomach of yours that has cravings and aches. Can you bring all parts? As we call upon our essence, this beautiful essence that brought you here, that remembers when you were created with the cosmos. And we bring in your Mayan sign and your cosmology. Can it be here now? How are these three parts sitting in the circle? Where are you with these three parts? I want you to answer these questions quietly to yourself. How are you feeling in this moment now, physically? How are you feeling in this moment now, emotionally? How are you feeling now in this moment, mentally? How are you feeling in this moment now, psychic intuitively? How are you feeling in this moment now spiritually? Over the last 24 hours, do you have anything that is unresolved? Any regrets? Over the last 24 hours, do you have anything that was resolved and that you are grateful for now? Over the last week, do you have anything that is unresolved? Any regrets? During the last week, do you have anything to be grateful for? Anything that was resolved, completed? Over the last month, anything that you have left unresolved, uncompleted? And any emotions associated with that? What comes up? Frustration, disappointment, fear, neglect. In the last month, what have you completed? What have you brought to life? What have you ended and moved on? In the last year, what have you not completed? What could be your regrets? What have you left undone? In the last year, what are you grateful for? What have you completed? What have you brought to a close? If you died today, would you have any regrets? Anything undone? And as you're given a new opportunity of life, what are you here to do? Can you resolve to complete the things that you haven't completed? To have that conversation you've never had, to write that letter that you need, to resolve things between your body, your mind, and your essence that you've been too afraid of, or that you've put them into these costumes of people that you put on pedestals and you don't allow them to their humanity nor yours. What is the relationship with your sacredness? And I want you to ask your mind, your body, and your essence that question. So let's ask it again. Mind, what is your relationship to your sacredness? Now let's bring in Etzna, Tijak, that obsidian mirror. And now, mind, what is your relationship to your sacredness? And now let's bring in cacao. What is your relation to your sacredness, mind? With the information of cacao. Mm-hmm. 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 Now let's ask your body those three questions first. What is what is its relationship to sacredness? Now ask the same question and bring in Tijak obsidian. Now ask the question again and bring in cacao. Mm-hmm. 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 Can you meet yourself now, just right now, this minute now? Your body and your mind. Let's bring in the essence and ask the same question 3 times. What is your sacredness? Now bring in obsidian, that reflection of you, made from the blood of Mother Earth. Her lava runs hot and creates new life. Can you see your reflection now? Mama ish cacao, mama ish cacao, mama ish cacao, bien y va. Ven aquí, ven aquí. As you bring in the energy of Ish Cacao to inform the sacredness of your essence. See what stories remain, those new ones with the potential of being created, and what you are allowed and allowing yourself to let go of. Chocolate, molinillo, ¿qué será, que el demonio va a pasar? Can you whisk away with the energy of the wind those bad, quote unquote, bad memories, bad spirits, those things that don't allow you to grow, to show up in the circle? Can you let those go as we ask the spirit of wind combine with Ish Cacao, which means we are combined with fire and water as we drink her now. A circle comes into our bodies, into our beingness, into our mind and our body and our soul. What have you left undone? What is your purpose? I want you all to go to your heart center. And I want you to fill it with everything that you love that is natural and not man-made. So your heart is full of beautiful sunsets and rainbows and grass and owls hooting and birds singing and fish swimming and jaguars dancing, penguins walking. And once it is full, can you open up your heart and give it to Mother Earth as a thank you with open hands? And imagine your hands just taking everything in your heart with your hands open and delivering it to her. Not forcing things down, not getting on top of things, just as a thank you. And see what she gives you in return. I ask her now to reveal all the roots that have been holding you into her unconditional love throughout this lifetime. And let her reveal to you now how she has held you even when you did not see her or knew her name. As we bring in Ish Cacao to course through her roots and her system and up into your bodies and into your heart center. As we bring in the energy of Mauna Kea and her people who remember that they're created with the sun and the moon and the mountains and the volcanoes. Can we allow ourselves to be sacred? We'll play a song for Hawaiian volcano spirits as we bring in
the mana of all of Hawaii rises up.
E ho mai ka ike mai luna mai e o nā mea huna no e au o nā mele e ho mai e ho mai e ho mai e ho mai ka ike mai luna mai e o nā mea huna no e au o nā mele e ho mai e ho mai, e ho mai, e ho mai, ka ike mai, luna mai, e o na mea huna no e au, o na mele, e ho mai, e ho mai, e ho mai,
That energy of volcano and obsidian and the time of death and rebirth come into the circle. Check in again. What is your relationship with sacredness? What can you allow cacao to heal today, to show you today? We are in the trecena of examining personal power. A trecena where even though usually there's a ceremony every day, it's so important to have a ceremony every day. And then today is in number 9, which is the day of ceremony. Are you living your life in ceremony as a prayer, becoming prayer? How are you feeling in this moment now, physically? How are you feeling in this moment now, emotionally? How are you feeling in this moment now, mentally? How are you feeling in this moment now, psychic, intuitively? How are you feeling in this moment now, spiritually? Can you sit with all 3 parts and yourself in cacao? The energy of circle. And with Thanksgiving, we bring in the energy of tobacco and corn, the trinity of medicinas, and the energetics of prayer, protection, community. As you keep drinking your cacao, What more can you give? What more can you receive today? Keep breathing to all parts of yourself. Let the energy of cacao move through your mind, your body, and your essence. How good can you stand it? How much love can you receive? As we continue in the circle, in this journey with cacao, where can she take you now? Can you come with an open heart and an open mind and an open essence and receive? As you continue to sip and be, when that each sip is in a cup in a circle, drinking the energy of circle and diamonds. And for my Nigerian, Brazilian, South American, Central American friends, for all those who love Oshun, bring Oshun in, Obalata, and those ancestors, water and fire. Many spirits who have led you here, bring them in. And ask them, what is their relationship to your sacredness? Wente ye how can I hear? When remember the lullaby with which you created your love. That song you sing with the moon and the stars and your ancestors, wrapped in tobacco, cacao, and cornmeal. I'm going to open the circle up. If anyone wants to add in to this prayer or to this meditation, you can unmute yourself now. It's okay if you can't, if you're still deep in cacao, if you're still deep in all that we've been doing. And if you're just joining us now, welcome to the circle and take your 3 breaths and join in. As we connect to cacao, the gods of volcanoes in the Hawaiian tradition, the 4 directions and the elementals, the ancestors, and all the beings who have supported us on this journey. Your mind, your body, and your essence, and circle. At this time, cacao wants to offer you clarity of vision. If you have any questions about your life, ask cacao now. And know that she will support you in that journey. When in doubt, drink cacao.
I thank you, beautiful Ishkakao, for coming to me in a space and time in my life where I am ready and open and willing to serve you. Where I have been shown to make space, to take my time, to understand patience and unconditional love for myself, so that I may spill out like a waterfall and have that love just come out to all who need it that sit around me. I thank you, Ishkakao, for teaching me understanding, for teaching me perseverance, for clearing my paths and allowing me to see what is important in my life. I honor you, Ishkakao. And wish to know you better. Allow me to be silent in myself, to listen carefully to all that stands around me, that holds lessons. Let me know the smallness of myself, as I know my jaguar also to be small. And for us to grow in humility and love with small, slow steps on this journey that leads us to where we are to go. I say thank you, Ishkakao, for surrounding me in circle with new family, those who will step forward and walk with me hand in hand, so that we may do your work in unity and in love.
Anyone else would like to add a prayer or a song? We've been asking and praying and having so many questions of ourselves, of cacao, the ancestors. As cacao gave us clarity in prayers that were said quietly or out loud. Just like we did before, let's fill our heart center with all the things that we love the cacao has given us. and all the beautiful things that she loves: corn, tobacco, fire, wind, song, prayer, and all the relationships that you've been building in your bundle and on your altars. Can you bring them into your heart center now? And then with your open hand, like we did before, can you open your hand and give them back to cacao and to Mother Earth? With your mind, open your heart, open your body, your essence, your consciousness, your subconsciousness. Can we be here now? In the circle with this moment of sacredness, giving and receiving as equally as possible. Whether you've been here for the whole ceremony or you were just showing up, you are welcome. All parts of you are welcome. And we're going to ask our questions again. And I want you to see how your mind and your body and your essence are showing up differently from when we started. Either today or with your journey with cacao. As we ask each one of them in this moment now, how are you feeling physically? Can you actually be honest about this? How are you feeling mentally? In this moment now, how are you feeling emotionally? In this moment now, how are you feeling psychic intuitively? In this moment now, how are you feeling spiritually? We've asked to see how far we've come and how much we've been loved. We've asked for clarity for the future. We've given, we've received. And so now, in this middle world where we live right now, can we come right now, in this moment? What does cacao have to reveal to you in this moment? with all of ourselves. Can we allow our truth to be aligned? This is the birth song of Quetzalcoatl. The rattle I was playing is the energy of corn and dragon serpent. Can we be this moment in all moments, always allowing ourselves to be reborn? Bring anything or anyone into the circle that you haven't yet. And as Quetzalcoatl brought cacao to the people, as cacao brought you here to this circle, ask her now if you are called to bring her to others and spread her message of love. And share the medicine in a good way. And what form and what that looks like. For as we learn from cacao, as we sit with her for years and years, we learn from her medicina becoming the medicina. And as we sit with this particular cacao that called us, from the energetics of new and discovery, can you live your life with that courage of always coming back to the circle and living with no regrets between your mind, your body, and your essence? La medicina del cacao es la medicina del corazón. La medicina del cacao es la medicina del corazón. La medicina del corazón, la medicina del corazón. Corazón del aire, corazón de la tierra, corazón de agua, corazón del fuego. La medicina es la medicina. Es el cacao y el corazón. As we slowly start to come out of this ceremony, as we give gratitude and thanks to all who came, to the teachers of this class, Ish Cacao, Tezcatlipoca, Quetzalcoatl, Mauna Kea, to the ancestors, to my abuela, You taught me how to sing to cacao and hold it in a sacred way. Even when members of my family denied her medicina. I thank Circle, all the directions and all the elemental guardians. I thank you, your body, your mind, your essence for being here, for the lessons and the medicine that you bring to the circle, for having the courage to hear the call and to learn in the old ways. I'm grateful for Zoom and the technology that allows us to meet so we can pray with each other from around the world. As we brought in the energetics of people in Australia, Italy, France, Canada, the US, across oceans and lands, uniting time zones and lives. And I thank you to my teachers and the permission that I have to share this medicina with you. To all who held the space for us for 4 weeks, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. As we start calling you back, take your 3 breaths in and out through your nose. Thanking your essence for being in this time, in this place. In and out through the nose, thanking your body for being in this time, in this place. In and out through the nose, thanking your mind for being in this time, in this place. Thank you, thank you, thank you for taking this time to be in ceremony with cacao. And with great humility, with all my parts aligned, I bow to you. Thank you for letting me be your teacher. And thank you for teaching me. Thank you. We're a little over, but I'm going to keep the circle open if anyone wants to share anything. For those of you that came late, you can watch this later on your own time. I'll send a link to this right after, and then I'll send a link to all 4 classes on YouTube. So if you need to watch them again, you'll have them. But if anyone would like to share anything that they've learned over the last couple of 4 weeks, how amazing this class was. No, I'm just kidding. How amazing this journey has been. Please share and be witnessed. Oh, I muted myself. I was saying, Jennifer, I like how you're drinking your cacao. Anyone want to share anything?
I do.
Thank you, Chris.
I've been astounded at how quickly and deeply I formed a relationship with cacao, this cacao. I've had experiences of working, letting go of some past patterns of beliefs, and I've been able to do it from love, from a place of love, recognizing my frustration within my body before it gets to frustration. And that's something that I've asked cacao to help me with, keeping my heart open. And I'm just astounded. Thank you, Marita.
Thank you,
Thank
Chris.
you.
Thank you for your energy and how you show up to the circle and how you walk with your energy of ego, your path of men. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Anyone else? Again, this hasn't been your typical cacao course that you can probably catch on a YouTube or something like that, so it's a little different. Bianca's like, yes. Bianca, are you still with us? Good, I'm glad you're still alive.
I'm so here. I've been here the whole time.
I know.
And it's not like a YouTube course, and I think everyone can definitely feels a lot of gratitude, and thank you for supporting us on this journey and introducing us to this amazing cacao. Like one of the lessons, so many lessons, but one of the lessons that sort of stuck out until right at the very end is like how you can still sit and learn and experience and be part of, and it doesn't matter what chaos is going on around you, like you can still, and I think that's what we were talking about before, Marita, like whilst today's ceremony was on, towards the end, like my two older boys reminded me of that because they were having a heated discussion downstairs about school, and I was like, all right, how do I stop what I'm doing here and go talk to them, or do I continue on? And I was just like breathing and just like sitting with cacao, and I was like, no, I can still be here and show up and do this, even if that's going on. And I think that's been a massive lesson that's come from this and so much more. So yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Bianca. Yeah, that is a huge lesson. Anyone else?
Yeah, I'll share something, Marita. I already shared this experience with you as soon as it happened, but I feel called to share it now. So I definitely feel as though cacao has called me to this time and this place, and the whole preparation and investigation, exploration, connection, submitting to, connecting to, has been amazing. And I was a little bit apprehensive, you know, about being atypical and having cacao, because previously it's always caused so much overstimulation, and that hasn't happened here at all. In fact, I just quickly share last week, it was the first time in Melbourne that we got to go out for dinner, and I went out with a couple of friends. And it was about 5 or 6 hours after I'd had my first Mauna Kea ish cacao, cacao in the ceremony with everybody. And I was really feeling, well, you know, I don't really feel much. It's great that I'm not overstimulated, but I'm not feeling a lot, but that's okay. I'll sit with that. And I'm not expecting anything. And so I was sitting dinner with my daughter and a friend of mine, and then my daughter invited her mother-in-law to be, and they were having a debate about Dan Andrews, and he's our premier. So we had a pro and a anti. And so we were kind of, you know, zooming out of that, Montana and I, that's my daughter. And I suddenly felt this amazing, actually it wasn't amazing, it was this really huge heart rate increase in my heart. And I thought, well, this is really bad. I think, should I be calling emergency services? This is a massive heart thing going on, and it's not anxiety, I think it's physical. And then incredible heat in my heart area, like nothing I've felt before. And I'm very intuitive, and I have psychic, you know, kinesthetic experiences where I feel things. This was nothing like I'd ever felt on this earth in this life before. And then my heart shattered in a million trillion pieces, and I had a heart orgasm. And I'm looking at my daughter, and she said, "What are you doing?" And I must have looked like that Harry Met Sally scene. And I looked really kind of, what the fuck is this? And then she goes, she's like, "What are you doing?" And I go, "My heart just had an orgasm." And she goes, "Ew, go to the toilet." And I'm like, no, my heart had an orgasm. Anyway, so I just sat there through the whole dinner, these guys arguing about Dan Andrews and competing as to how many Prada bags they had. And I was just like, wow, this is great. You know, and my daughter's like, "When can I have some? Have you got spare?" You know, so she's coming over next Sunday, and we're going to do a cacao ceremony together. So I can't even begin to say thank you, thank you, thank you. And I can't wait for what's to come. So yeah,
Thank you, Sharon. Thank you. I love it. A heart orgasm. Love it. You're done. Go to the bathroom. Anyone want to share? You can also, if you've had blocks, you know, not everyone has heart orgasms, you know, we all experience cacao in very different ways. So,
I'll share.
oh, yes.
It's sort of hard to put into words. That was like an incredible journey. The whole, like, I've sort of come full circle, as in, like, last week, I felt really disconnected during the class. Like, I've been in such a good place, and I felt just really like I wanted to hide at the end of the ceremony. And I had things going on outside that were distracting me, and noise. And anyway, and then I had a really weird week. For not super weird, but just a weird kind of heavy energy through the week. And then this, I felt really good this morning, and through that journey, my experience, like, I've just connected to my intuition in a way I never have before. And it's come through the energy of shapes, and it started with circles and triangles. And I had kind of a weird, I don't mind circles, but they're not really my thing. I'm a triangle person. And the way I've connected all those energies of the different shapes, that all came up in that experience just then. And Mother Earth, I don't even know how to explain, like, it's just sort of changed my whole perspective of the way I see the world. And I was feeling disconnected with cacao a bit, except that I love, like, rainbow energy, and I loved looking at the reflection of the rainbows in the bubbles. And, you know, I love the ceremony of making the cacao, and I love drinking the cacao. And last week I wasn't sure about cacao and after how I felt. And then today it just blew my mind, like some of the things that were coming up for me, and just how it just it ended up just joining, like the triangles and like everything just joined, and it was all about, like I had a lot of disconnection, like I was very disconnected through my life and maybe childhood, and it kind of just, that concept of earth, and everything in nature being connected, it kind of made me realize that I've always been connected and held. And it just, I don't know, I just can't even put it into words how amazing it was. Like, it's just, that's the best I can do.
Thank you. No, thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
No, thank you, Melissa. And thank you for showing up. You always show up. So thank you for that. Thank you. Beautiful. I'm excited. I'm excited for our one-on-one. So I'm like, ooh.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Celeste, would you like to share?
Hi, yes, hello. Actually, what Sharon shared about her first cacao experience just reminded me of when cacao finally came home for me. I just gotten the altar together, and I was very excited about my first experience brewing her and bringing into ceremony. And I kind of thought the same sort of thing. I kind of was ready for this sort of very elevated, maybe kind of energetic sort of pairing with her, and it was really funny. I held my warm cup and I drank it, and I was waiting for, you know, kind of the waves of almost like pick me up, feel good sort of, and I ended up almost falling asleep. Like I had to lay down. I felt instantly just completely drained and exhausted. And like this wave of tiredness came over me, and I crawled into my bed, and I had almost like this lucid dream state that sort of lasted, still processing everything that happened during that state. I wrote it out in my journal, but I felt like she really took me on a journey. And I kind of thought that I was going to have this more kind of really energetic sort of meeting of her. And it turned out to be a really sort of like loving, peaceful embrace. And it was just, it was surprising, and it was really beautiful. And yeah, I've been very happy to have her home, and this medicine sort of flowing through me, and really helping me center in my own self-love and being able to draw the love from that center point. So yeah, so thank you, Marita, thank you, everybody.
Thank you. You know, I mean, it's a miracle that we're actually sitting here. I mean, if you want to believe in miracles, this is a miracle that this happened. Like when I got the call to do this class, I got the call to do this class a couple months ago, because I'm giving my topics, you know. Spirit just sits me down and says, this is what you're going to teach, and this is when you teach it, and this is the energy, you know. And so I was like, cacao, and I was like, great, I'm just going to have like people just pick up their own. And Hawaii was like, excuse me. What? I was like, what am I supposed to do? I don't even know how to cut my grass yet, you know, and you want me to make cacao? Like I am like falling behind in my life right now. And she literally was like, go to Instagram right now. Remember that profile that you saw of like this dude in Hawaii? Contact him immediately. So I contacted him. Nothing for weeks. And I was like, okay, it's the island, right? And then she said, contact him again. And I was like, oh, I got to go cut my grass again, you know? So I contacted, you know, and you know, it was, you know, September, and I was starting, you know, ending one, you know, 6-month cycle, starting a new 6-month, 12-month cycle. I was really, you know, busy and trying to get all this together. And she's like, you have to do this. And I was like, oh my God. So I started looking at like farmers and purveyors, and like Rose and I started making cacao here at home. And I was like, how am I going to make all of this, you know? And she goes, contact that guy again. So he finally got back to me. His name is Ethan. And I asked him, I said, look, I have a project. He's the only person who does ceremonial cacao. He's the only one who knows about it. No one else in the island knows about it. And and he's not even selling his cacao right now. Like no one's making cacao right now in Hawaii because it's so costly to make Hawaiian cacao that what they do is they just cut it with cacao from other places to make it cheaper. It's usually 1 ounce costs $15 retail. Like it's ridiculously expensive, you know, and with the economy of everything, everything's shut down. And so I'm like, okay, now I have COVID. I'm shut down and I have to make the most expensive cacao in the world. I have no idea how this is going to happen. She's like, it'll be fine. Don't worry. And so he and I started talking back and forth, right? And he's like, I think I can do this. I don't know. And, you know, he knew the farmers and we were like, it was just hodgepodge. And I was like, I need 35 pounds. He's like, oh, whoa. I mean, that's going to take me like 3 or 4 months. I'm like, no, mijo. Like, I need it. Like, I need 10 pounds in a week because I have to send it to Australia. He's like, oh my God. And I mean, people move slow here. And I was just like, I was just praying. And so I moved the class back a week because I knew I was going to need it. And, but it was like driving back and forth, hoping that the cacao didn't melt in my car and ice, because I live 2 hours away from where he is, you know? And it, you know, the name of the cacao came to me when I was driving back from like driving through a lava field. I was driving through this lava field and it was like cuatro manos, cinco volcanes. I was like, okay, that's what it is, you know? And Ash, I was texting Ash on Facebook being like, hey, I'm going to teach a cacao class. Would you be interested in getting, you know, people excited about it? And what do you think of this? And she like helped me with the design. She was like, no, move this over here and move that over there. And so Ash, thank you so much for being part of that. And I asked her, I'm like, will you be my cacao fairy? You know, if I send a shipment, can you help distribute it? So I'm not paying, you know, thousands of dollars in shipping since. But so it's a miracle that it happened. Like I don't know how it happened, but it is a miracle that we have her. You're literally, again, the only people in the world that have this cacao, you know? And so she wanted it done, as you know, volcano energy. It's a good thing I grew up with a military background, you know? I was like, yes, ma'am. So it is a miracle that she's here. So I'm happy that you've been able to, and to get, and it arrived everywhere. My package to France got, lost. It arrived empty. So I was able to send another one and it arrived. So everyone has received their cacao. So everyone. So it's been a miracle. It got through customs, it got through, and it, you know, so it's been a miracle. So you know, cacao, what she kept saying, she's like, don't worry about me. I'll be fine. just do the things. I'll take care of the rest. I was like, oh no, wait a minute, but this. And then I was like, if I drop it off at my, you know, my postal service, then they're gonna, you know, they have to take it up to Hilo and they're not gonna like put it in ice and it's an hour and a half in a truck. And, you know, so the first time that I did it, I like literally like did it myself. And she'll like, don't worry, I'll be fine. Just I'll be fine. I even like put in the wrong zip code and she arrived somewhere. Like I just like, so it has been a pleasure and a gift, you know, and I truly believe that she called us, you know, to this circle. She called all of you for a very specific reason. And there's about 20 people in the class, 20 people in the world that are able to have her in a ceremonial way. The only 20 people in the world that have ever experienced this. Like literally, I talked to the guy who's never, you know, he's never done anything like this, you know? Mm. And so she called you and I'm so glad that you're here. And I hope that you will continue with her and know that this circle and she will always be here for you. Anyone else want to share anything else before we start kind of closing? We're already over time, but I thought it was important. No?
I'll share.
Okay. Thank you, Sam.
That was actually a really good segue into what I want to share. Yeah, because there's been so many lessons for me, but the biggest one has just been letting go of control and letting things be what they're going to be and trusting that whatever it turns into will be beautiful. And it's so perfect for me because I decided this year what I wanted to work on was things not needing to be perfect. And I just feel like cacao's really helped. Um, yeah, join the circle. So I'm so grateful. And yeah, I just have a lot of gratitude in my heart right now.
Thank you, Sam. Alisa, you wanted to share something?
Yeah, I've been resisting. At the moment, I have waves of grief, but in a way of gratitude. And I am in constant, like I'm watching myself, in alignment with what Chris was saying, those unserving beliefs. And in our ceremony today, I was able to see a lot of the reflections, and and throughout the years, several years of me trying to walk this path and kind of come into my empowered self and really serve, I've gone through the dark end of it, the ego end of it, the lost sense of self end of it, the denying of self end of it, and even the positive side too. And just this whole shift of journeying. And right now, I have seen every instance of me running away from, not sure the word, but accepting my path or purpose and what I am here to do, even though I do my best to work towards it at the same time. It's like moving towards it, but at the same time denying it. Like, how can you hold those two energies together at the both extremes? And so as I'm sitting here, I'm just kind of like, okay, I'm so in gratitude because I had no wildest dream or idea that cacao would want to work through me in this way. And then here I am still trying to resist this habit of playing it small. And it reminds me of someone saying before to me, and this is the same time, Rita, I might have told you that you came up around my awareness while I was in California and singing and trying to come forward, and you like commented on this live thing I did and like, oh, hey, I think we're gonna connect later on. And a year later, you pop up on my Instagram again. And this girl, she does sound healing as well, and she said, oh, I just got this message. You're a jaguar pretending to be a kitten. And I guess I've been so used to playing it small. And it's been my whole life of needing to contain myself for others. And so in the same line of perfection too, letting that go. And this ceremony has allowed me to remember that everything is fine and everything works through spirit. You don't think of anything else but connecting with what comes through you in that moment of heart space and what wants to express through my love for all the things that I'm feeling and connecting to, and the medicine comes through that. I don't have to worry about how or what and what I need to do and all that stuff. And I had a hard time, having a hard time sharing because I think it's important that I need to voice it and pretty much walk through and what do you call it, like clear through all the chatter that's been holding me back and really voice that this is the time. This is the time to really embrace the inner child, all the aspects of the self, and give it that much love so that I remember the love and experiences that I had all around me instead of cutting myself off to them, and really come forward in service. And to not be afraid. There's never been a reason to be afraid, even though some experiences have been terrifying. so, so I just want to thank you, everyone. Thank you, Marita. Thank you, Ishkakao. Thank you, all you beautiful souls, and for listening and witnessing and allowing me to take up space. And I thank myself to take up space and to speak and to share and to be. I love you guys.
Thank you, Elisa. We love you. We love you. Is there anyone else who would like to share? Jen, want to share? You don't have to.
No, it's okay. I have, since the beginning of the class, sort of watched myself as I drew boundaries and held them and said what I needed and got it. And those were really new experiences for me. And the feeling of fullness that came from that was absolutely from CACAO, because it was directly related to my having that moment where I opened my heart and said to myself, what do you need? Because I spend my days asking what everybody else needs. And, that's my job. But I lost track somewhere along the line of asking myself. And CACAO kind of went, hey, here's the thing. You're going to ask you now. And I realized that it was not just, fluffy things that I wanted. I'd like comfort and all of those things. It's, a rough time to be alive some days. But it was the sense of self that it took to say no and mean no and keep saying no, or to say yes and mean yes and keep saying yes. And that fullness that I felt was me sort of acknowledging that it's almost like CACAO took up that space. It was just really beautiful.
That's amazing. That's amazing. Thank you for sharing. And yeah, you deserve it.
Thanks.
Yeah, you deserve you. Anyone else? No. As you know, always make sure to drink a lot of water with CACAO so you don't get dehydrated. I want to thank you for being here. The next intensive is in December, and that will be with the ancestors. It's going to be super cool. I mean, I think it's going to be cool because I'm being shown what I'm going to teach, and I'm like, well, this is pretty cool. We're going to be teaching about the ancestors from an elemental perspective. So we'll be bringing in all you people who are Celtic and Norse and things like that. We'll be bringing in all of those energies. Yes, all of you, Dutch energies as well. And be able to approach them also from the Yoruba tradition. And we'll be, they're still telling me what to do, but it's going to be super cool. So that will be an intensive. So that's 4 weekends in December. And yes, it will take place one will be on the 26th, which is a Saturday. I was told to do it. Not everyone, I think, will be celebrating. I was just told to do it, to hold a circle at that time. So if you're interested in that, it's the same deal as this. The 4 classes, the one-on-ones are extra. If you want to go deeper with CACAO and be able to hold ceremony with her, I do have something. It's probably going to start, it's going to start in the new year, probably maybe mid-January. And it's going to go, it's going to be intense. You're going to be doing a 3-month dieta with CACAO. What does that mean? I just want to explain it. You will be sitting with CACAO every day for 3 months. Every day. I know some of you already CACAO has asked you to sit with her for 2 months. Some people are sitting her with 6 months, some 3, but it'll be a minimum of 3 months because it's just about continuously building that relationship. We will have weekend classes. So instead of doing 4 weekends in a row, we'll take 1 weekend out of January, 1 weekend out of February to meet on either probably a Friday, a Saturday or Sunday, depending, 2 days for about 3 to 5 hours each day, right? We'll take a hour break for like lunch and stuff like that. So it'll be very intense. I was trained for 39 years before I started holding ceremonies. We're going to try to teach you in 3 months. But what that means is that it will be intense. You will have one-on-ones as part of that, to be able to work through a lot of things. And that's why the classes are so long. And will take 3 months to digest. And then we'll have a month of ceremonies so that you can see me hold space in ceremonies, and we can start teaching you how to do that. And then you'll hold 3 ceremonies, a minimum of 3 ceremonies. 1, I'll lead it. You'll start your own circles, and then you'll start, being apprenticing, and then we'll see how you will go. And after 3, I feel like you can lead them, and I'll assist. I'll also have some CACAO assistants. Then, we'll say, go ahead and hold these ceremonies. The ask is to be able, and this is for the training with the Hawaiian CACAO. I'm not going to be doing any other CACAO. This is what I've been called to do, and to get Hawaiian CACAO out there, because I think it's the medicine that we need right now. For what's going on. And so if you feel called to that, let me know. We can work it out. I always work out things with people. So if you feel called and I'm told to teach you, just how it is, so keep that in mind. And then with those of you who are on the Jaguar path, we will continue with CACAO through this month and next month as the medicina, and then we'll start introducing another medicina for 3 months. So that's it. Yes,
So
Elaine, you have a question? I'm
will
sorry?
you
Yes, I'll be emailing everything.
about the upcoming courses and the elemental one, the ancestor one?
Yeah. I sent out an email earlier, and I'll send it out again. You'll get an email. I'll probably send an email just quickly with people with a link to the Zoom to this, and then I'll throw it up on YouTube, and then I'll send you a link with all of the classes, and then the next offerings. If you have one-on-ones, make sure to book them. They're here to support your journey with Nisha CACAO, and with a lot of love. Thank you.